Hello and welcome. Today, we step back in time into the quiet, solitary world of a lighthouse keeper in the 1800s. We will be reading from a diary, a chronicle of a life lived by the rhythm of the sea and the turning of a great light. Settle in, relax, and let's begin. The day begins before the sun. A single match is struck, and a candle flickers to life, casting long, dancing shadows across the stone walls. The air is cool and still. The keeper rises, his movements slow and deliberate, a routine honed by countless dawns. The first task is always the same, the lantern. He checks the oil, ensuring it is full. He inspects the wick, trimming it with practiced care. Every step of this ritual is performed with a quiet focus, a silent understanding between man and machine. There is no rush, no sense of urgency, only a methodical precision. He begins the long climb up the spiral staircase. Each step creaks softly under his weight, a familiar sound in the morning silence. The ascent is slow, a meditation in motion. One step, then another, the circular climb carrying him higher and higher into the heart of the tower. He feels the cool stone under his fingertips as he steadies himself against the curving wall. The air grows cooler as he nears the top, the scent of the sea becoming more pronounced, a mix of salt and damp air. He arrives in the lantern room, the glass chamber that sits atop the world. Now the polishing begins. The great Fresnel lens, a magnificent work of glass and brass, is his charge. He takes a soft cloth and begins to wipe away the salt spray and dust from the night. His motions are circular, patient, and thorough. He examines every prism, every piece of glass, looking for any imperfection, any smudge that might dim the life-saving beam. He moves around the massive structure, his reflection a distorted figure in the curved surfaces. This is a task of utmost importance, performed with a devotion that borders on reverence. The light must be pure, its beam unwavering. With the lens gleaming, he steps out onto the narrow gallery that encircles the lantern room. He leans against the railing, his gaze sweeping across the vast expanse of the sea. This morning, the water is calm. The waves are gentle, rolling in with a soft, rhythmic shushing sound against the base of the tower. They move endlessly, a slow, hypnotic dance of gray and blue. The wind is just a whisper, a soft caress against his face, carrying the faint, clean smell of salt. It's a scent he knows better than any other. Below, the dark, jagged rocks that guard the base of the lighthouse stand unmoving, ancient sentinels that have witnessed centuries of tides. They are a constant, a reminder of the dangers that lurk just beneath the surface. Above, a few seabirds glide on the air currents, their movements slow and effortless. They cry out occasionally, their calls sharp and lonely in the quiet air. Everything is as it was yesterday and as it will be tomorrow. It is a scene of profound stillness, a world that is unchanging, ordinary, and deeply calm. There is a certain boredom to it, a monotony that could drive one mad, yet there is also a deep and abiding peace. He descends the stairs once more, the creaks of the steps now a familiar accompaniment to his downward journey. It is time for breakfast. In the small living quarters below, the routine is just as measured. He takes a loaf of bread and slices it carefully, each cut precise. He places the slices on a simple wooden plate. He prepares his tea, pouring the hot water slowly over the leaves, watching as the liquid darkens to a rich amber. He takes his seat at a small table, the same seat he takes every morning. He eats deliberately, without hurry. Each bite of bread, each sip of tea is noted. He is fully present in the simple act of eating. There are no distractions, no conversations, only the quiet sounds of his meal and the ever-present murmur of the sea outside. He is an observer of his own life, a chronicler of the small, seemingly insignificant moments that make up his days. This slowness, this attention to detail, is a defense against the overwhelming solitude. It is a way to fill the immense, empty spaces of time. After his meal, he opens his diary. The book is bound in worn leather, its pages filled with neat, steady handwriting. He dips his quill into the ink pot and begins to write. He doesn't record grand events or dramatic encounters. Instead, he documents the minutiae of his existence. He writes of the way the morning candle wax melted, forming a small pool at its base. He notes the specific creak of the third step from the top of the staircase. He describes the way the first light of dawn reflected off the polished lens, casting a rainbow on the wall. He details the slow, almost imperceptible movement of the waves, the way they pattered the surface of the water. He writes about the gentle breeze and how it carried the scent of low tide. Every detail, no matter how small, is worthy of entry. The world outside may see his life as boring, a repetitive cycle of chores and solitude. But in these pages, it becomes something else. It becomes a study in stillness, a testament to a life lived in close observation of the world, calm, ordinary, and profoundly silent. The rest of the day unfolds in a similar fashion. There are checks to be made, brass to be polished, and supplies to be organized. He walks the small perimeter of his rocky island, his boots crunching on a path of gravel and crushed shells. He watches the ships on the horizon, small specks moving from one edge of his world to the other. He is their unseen guardian, a silent presence ensuring their safe passage. He does not know them, and they do not know him, but they are connected by this tower of light. As the afternoon light begins to fade, he begins the preparations for the night. The process is a reversal of the morning's ritual. He climbs the stairs again, this time to bring the light to life. The wicks are lit, and a warm, powerful glow fills the lantern room. The clockwork mechanism that turns the lens is wound, its heavy weights beginning their slow, steady descent. The great light begins its rotation, its beam sweeping across the darkening sea in a slow, majestic rhythm. He stands on the gallery one last time as dusk settles, watching the beam cut through the growing twilight. It is a beacon of hope, a warning, a promise. His work is done for the day, yet it is also just beginning. The light will turn all through the night, a silent vigil he will oversee from his quarters below. He will wake at intervals to ensure it still burns, that it still turns. His sleep, like his waking hours, is governed by the needs of the light. He returns to his diary before bed. The entry is brief. The light is lit. The sea is calm. The wind is from the west. Simple words for a simple yet extraordinary existence. He closes the book, blows out his candle, and the room is plunged into darkness, save for the rhythmic flash of light from above, sweeping past his window, a constant, reassuring pulse in the deep, quiet dark. His world is small, but his purpose is immense. A life of solitude, of repetition, of quiet dignity, chronicled in the pages of a diary, a lighthouse keeper's life. Thank you for joining us on this journey. We hope you found a moment of peace in this story of quiet dedication. If you enjoyed this, please consider liking this video and subscribing to our channel for more tales from the past. Thank you for listening. The Keeper's Log. Another day begins, just as the last one ended. The pen moves slowly across the page, a familiar scratching sound in the otherwise silent room. I write what I wrote yesterday and the day before that. The gulls circle again, their cries the same as ever. I note their patterns, their lazy arcs against the gray sky. It's a ritual, this observation. The clouds, heavy and slow, drift across the horizon. The waves, a ceaseless rhythm, wash against the rocks below. The rocks themselves, ancient and unyielding, stand firm against the water's gentle persuasion. Everything is a constant. The lantern, my steadfast companion, the worn stone steps leading up to it, the flickering candle on my desk, the warm tea in my mug, each detail meticulously recorded, a testament to the unchanging nature of this place. Calm, quiet, some might call it boring, monotonous. To me, it is simply life. I step out onto the balcony, the cool, salty air, a familiar embrace. My feet find their usual places on the stone, each step a deliberate, measured movement. The path is worn smooth by my own passage, a testament to countless circuits around this tower. I run my hand along the cold metal railing, its solidity, a comforting presence against the vast emptiness of the sea. Looking out, the water stretches to meet the sky, a canvas of shifting blues and grays. The movement is slow, almost hypnotic. Waves build, crest, and break against the rocks with a soft, percussive sigh, not a crash. Even the birds seem to move in slow motion, gliding on unseen currents of air. The wind, when it shifts, does so with a gentle whisper, not a howl. Everything is calm. Everything is repetitive. Everything is ordinary. And in its ordinariness, there is a profound peace. It's time to check the lantern, the heart of this stone body. I ascend the spiral stairs, my hand tracing the cool curve of the wall. The lamp room is a bubble of glass and brass, a sanctuary of light. I polish the great lens, my cloth moving in slow, careful circles. It's a meditative act, removing the day's accumulation of salt and dust, preparing it for the night's work. I light the wick, watching the flame catch and grow, a small sun born in my hands. The light steadies, casting a warm, unwavering glow. I check the mechanism, the gears that will turn the light, ensuring every part moves with quiet precision. There's no rush, no urgency, just the methodical, silent execution of a vital task. Later, back at my desk, the diary will capture it all. Long sentences will describe the process, the way the light catches the polished glass, the steady dance of the flame, the gentle warmth. It radiates the profound silence that surrounds it all, a silence broken only by the turning of the page. The logbook is my anchor in this sea of time, each entry a small, precise knot in a rope that stretches back through the years. Today, I described the particular way the sunlight filtered through a high, thin cloud, turning the surface of the water to polished silver for a few fleeting moments. I wrote about the family of seals that have taken to sunning themselves on the western rocks, their dark, slick bodies like punctuation marks on the gray stone. I noted the subtle change in the tide's rhythm, a slightly longer pause between the waves. These are the small dramas of my world, the subtle shifts in a landscape of constants. The details matter. They are the texture of existence, the cool weight of the brass key in my palm as I lock the lantern room door. The scent of old paper and ink that fills my small study. The way the candlelight makes the shadows dance on the stone walls. These are not signs of boredom. They are markers of a life lived with attention. I walk the perimeter again. The wind has picked up slightly, carrying the scent of rain from the west. The birds have settled for the evening, their calls growing softer, more infrequent. The sea has darkened, its surface now a deep, restless indigo. My world is contracting, drawing in around the steady, pulsing beam of the lighthouse. From up here, the world beyond the horizon is an abstraction, a place of noise and hurry that I can barely remember. Here, there is only the tower, the sea, and the sky. The work is simple. Keep the light burning. Ensure the ships at sea have a guide, a warning, a point of certainty in the vast, unpredictable ocean. It is a promise I make every single night, a promise kept with oil and wick and polished glass. It is a quiet, solitary vow. The flame is steady. The lens turns. The beam sweeps across the dark water in its silent, circular journey. Down below, in my room, the diary lies open. The ink is drying on the final entry for the day. It speaks of the wind, the approaching rain, the deep color of the evening sea. It mentions the lantern, its faithful, rhythmic pulse. It describes the feeling of the cold stone under my feet, the solid presence of the tower around me. The words are simple, the observations plain. They are the same, yet different. Each day, a new verse in the same long, quiet poem. The keeper writes, the light turns, the sea breathes, and the world is held in a state of calm, quiet, beautiful monotony. Thanks for joining me in this moment. If you feel a connection to this quiet world, consider following along. There are always more pages to turn. Today is much like yesterday. Lunch was slow. A piece of bread, a slice of cheese, a glass of water. I wrote it all down in the diary. Each bite, each sip, a small record of the day. Nothing changes. There are no surprises here. Everything is ordinary, repetitive, silent. It's a calm existence, if not a little monotonous. The diary continues to fill with the small details of my day. Every step I take, every breath, the faint sounds from outside, the familiar sights, it's all recorded. The day unfolds, and I climb the stairs again. The spiral path is worn and familiar under my feet. I check the light. The great lamp is the heart of this place. I polish the vast expanse of glass again. My reflection is a faint ghost against the sea beyond. I adjust the flame, a small, careful movement to ensure its steadfastness. Everything is repeated. It's a ritual, a cycle that defines my time here. Down below, the waves move slowly, swelling and receding with a timeless rhythm. Above, the gulls drift on the air currents, their flight slow and measured. The wind shifts, a gentle nudge against the stone tower. Nothing really changes. Everything remains calm, ordinary, repetitive, and yes, some would say boring. I find my way back to the diary, its pages open and waiting. I write again. I write about the candle that flickers on my desk, casting long shadows. I write about the winding stairs, the balcony that encircles the top, the polished glass that protects the light. I write about the light itself, a beacon against the coming dark. I write about the birds, the waves, the gentle wind, the taste of salt that hangs perpetually in the air. Each sentence is long, slow, and calm, repetitive, perhaps. Each observation is ordinary, unchanging, silent, monotonous, but it is my observation, my day, my life, recorded line by line. The colors are beautiful, but they are the same colors I saw yesterday and the day before that. They are a predictable beauty, a scheduled performance by nature. I watch until the last sliver of light disappears below the horizon, and then I turn back to my duties. The lamp must be at its brightest now. The world outside the glass is plunged into darkness, and my light is its only guide. It's a sound I know so well, I barely notice it anymore, like the beating of my own heart. I walk the circular balcony, the wind a bit cooler now. It carries the scent of the deep sea, a clean, briny smell. The stars are beginning to appear, pinpricks of cold, distant light in the vast emptiness above. I am just another keeper in a long line of keepers, watching them. There's a certain peace in this unchanging reality. There's no need to rush, no pressure to be anyone other than who I am in this moment. A keeper, a watcher, a chronicler of the mundane. My world is small, confined to this tower and the small patch of land it sits on, but in its smallness, I see everything. The way a spider has meticulously spun its web in the corner of the window frame. The slow, patient erosion of the stone steps by the wind and rain. The way the moonlight catches the crest of a wave, making it shimmer like liquid silver for a fleeting second. These are the things that fill my diary. These are the things that fill my days. My life is a collection of these quiet, insignificant moments, and in their repetition, I find a strange sort of comfort. It's a life without highs or lows, a steady, unwavering line. The night deepens. The only sounds are the rhythmic wash of the waves against the rocks below, the whisper of the wind, and the steady turning of the light. I make my rounds again. I check the fuel levels. I wipe a stray smudge from the inner lens. Living in a state between waking and dreaming, where time has lost its meaning. Is it Tuesday or Friday? Does it matter? The sun will rise and the sun will set. I will eat my bread and cheese. I will climb the stairs. I will polish the glass. I will write in my diary. The repetition is not a prison. It's a foundation. It is the solid ground upon which my sanity rests. Without this routine, what would there be? An abyss of empty hours, a vast, formless sea of time. The structure is everything. Each entry in the diary is another stone laid in the wall against chaos. I describe the color of the ink as it dries on the page, the faint scratch of the nib. I note the temperature of the air, the direction of the wind. It may seem like madness to an outsider, this obsession with detail. But here, detail is all there is. It is the fabric of my reality. The world beyond this tower, with its noise, its ambitions, its constant, frantic motion, feels like a distant story, a fable I once heard. Here, there is only the now, this breath, this step, this word written on this page, and the light, always the light. It sweeps across the water in a slow, silent arc, a pulse, a heartbeat, a reassurance to the unseen ships that someone is here, someone is watching, someone is keeping the calm. The dawn breaks, slowly, hesitantly, a thin line of gray on the horizon that gradually warms to a pale, milky white. The stars fade, one by one. The birds begin to stir, their calls a soft chorus that welcomes the new day. It is a new day, but it will be the same as the last. I extinguish the great lamp, its duty done for another night. I descend the stairs for the last time until evening. A fresh space to be filled with the same old words. A fishing boat is a small speck in the distance, moving with a slowness that matches my own world. I begin to write. I write about the taste of the water. I write about the texture of the bread. I write about the silence that fills the room. Each word is a deliberate act, a confirmation of my existence, a testament to the quiet, repetitive, monotonous, and strangely beautiful life of a keeper. I will read a few pages from a book I've read a dozen times before. I will watch the clouds drift by, and I will write it all down, every ordinary, boring, silent, and peaceful detail. Because this is my story, this is my life, and I am its faithful narrator. Thank you for listening. If you find a strange beauty in the quiet moments, perhaps you'll consider following along. Dinner is eaten slowly, a piece of bread, a bowl of thin soup, a glass of water, and finally, a cup of weak tea. Every sip, every bite, every small detail is noted, recorded in the mind before it's committed to paper. The light in the room is checked again, a ritual as ingrained as breathing. It's late afternoon, and the sun is beginning its slow descent towards the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple. The diary, a constant companion, lies open on the table. Its pages are filled with observations, notes on every movement of the candle's flame, the way the light catches the surface of the glass, creating fleeting, dancing patterns. It records every distant sound carried from the sea, the rhythmic sigh of the waves, the soft, mournful cry of a gull, every rustle of the wind as it whispers around the corners of this solitary tower is documented. Everything is calm. Everything is, in a way, boring. It's a life built on repetition, a symphony of silence punctuated by the ordinary. The ticking of the clock on the wall, the creak of the floorboards underfoot. These are the markers of time, the only real events in a day that mirrors the one before it and anticipates the one to come. The keeper prepares for nightfall. It's a process, a ceremony that has been performed countless times. The steps of the winding staircase are climbed slowly, one by one. Each step is a familiar friend, its wear and tear a map of the past. The great lantern at the top of the tower needs attention. Its brass is polished until it gleams. Its complex mechanism of lenses and mirrors is adjusted with practiced hands. The wick of the massive candle is trimmed, and then, with a steady hand, it is lit. A small flame flickers to life, growing stronger, brighter, until it fills the lantern room with a warm, unwavering glow. Everything is done carefully, deliberately, and, above all, slowly. There is no rush here. Time is a vast, open ocean, not a rushing river. The waves crash gently against the rocks far below. Earlier in the day, they were more boisterous, but now, as evening settles in, they have calmed to a gentle, rhythmic pulse, like the slow heartbeat of the world. The seabirds, once a chaotic flurry of white against the blue sky, have settled for the night, their calls fading into the growing quiet. The wind still moves, but it's a soft breath now, no longer a blustering force. It carries the scent of salt and damp rock. Everything is calm, everything is boring, everything is repetitive. The world outside the lantern room has tucked itself in for the night, and in here the vigil begins. The diary entry for the day ends not with a grand event or a profound thought, but with a simple description of the room. The wooden table, its surface scarred with the marks of years. The single straight-backed chair, positioned just so. The small candle on the table, its flame a miniature echo of the great light above. The polished lantern waiting for its moment to shine. The spiraling stairs that lead up and down, a connection to the world below. The cold stone walls of the tower, silent witnesses to countless nights just like this one. And through the thick glass of the lantern room, the endless, dark expanse of the sea. Everything is unchanged. Everything is ordinary. Boring, some would say. Calm, others might call it is silent, save for the hum of the wind and the whisper of the waves. The keeper stands by the glass, looking out into the deepening twilight. The first star appears, a tiny pinprick of light in the vast, darkening canvas. A slow breath is drawn in, held for a moment, and then released just as slowly. The air is cool and clean. The day ends slowly, not with a bang, but with a gradual fading of light and sound. The world outside slows down, and the world inside the tower has been slow all along. Everything is slow, repetitive, monotonous, and ordinary. It's a life measured in the turning of pages, the lighting of wicks, and the rising and setting of the sun. It's a life of solitude and duty. And as the last vestiges of daylight vanish from the sky, the beam from the lantern cuts through the darkness, a brilliant, sweeping arc of light. It travels out across the water, a silent, steadfast guardian. It touches the crests of the waves, making them glitter for a moment before moving on. It is a promise, a beacon of hope for any vessel that might be out there on the dark, lonely sea. The light revolves, a slow and steady rhythm that will continue uninterrupted until dawn. It is the heart of this place, the purpose of this quiet, repetitive existence. The keeper watches it for a long time, its familiar pattern a source of comfort, the sweep of the light, the brief moment of darkness, and then the return of the light, again and again and again. Another entry is made in the diary. The light is strong, the sea is calm. Simple words for a simple yet profound reality. The keeper then descends the stairs, just as slowly as they were climbed. Back in the small room below, the world is reduced to the circle of light cast by the single candle. The sounds are muffled now, the sea a distant murmur. The repetition of the day gives way to the repetition of the night. The clock ticks, the wind sighs, the light above turns. This is the rhythm of the lighthouse, the pulse of a life dedicated to a single, unwavering task. It's a life that many would find unbearable in its monotony, its lack of excitement. But here, in the quiet solitude of the tower, there is a strange kind of peace, a deep and abiding sense of purpose found within the ordinary. The hours of the night will pass in much the same way as the hours of the day. There will be checks on the lantern, climbs up and down the winding stairs. There will be long periods of just sitting, listening to the night. There will be more entries in the diary, more notes on the state of the weather, the sea, the light. The details may change slightly. The wind might pick up. A passing squall might rattle the windows, but the fundamental nature of the night remains the same. It is a vigil, a long, slow, and solitary watch. And when the first hint of gray appears on the eastern horizon, the process will begin in reverse. The great light will be extinguished, the lantern cleaned and prepared for the next night. A new day will dawn, bringing with it the same calm, the same boring, the same repetitive, the same silent, the same ordinary routines. And in that repetition, there is a kind of beauty. It's the beauty of reliability, of constancy, in a world that is always changing. The ships that see this light don't know the keeper, don't know about the slow dinners, the detailed diary, the quiet observations. They only know that the light is there. Every night, without fail, it guides them, keeps them safe from the treacherous rocks hidden beneath the waves. It is a silent, dependable friend in the vast emptiness of the ocean. And that, perhaps, is the true meaning of this slow, monotonous, and ordinary life. It is a life given over to the service of others, a life whose purpose is written not in a diary, but in the safe passage of strangers. The keeper closes the diary, the day's observations complete. The candle flame gutters for a moment as a draft finds its way through a crack in the wall, then steadies itself. Everything is slow, everything is calm, and in the darkness, the light keeps turning. Thanks for joining me on this quiet reflection. If you found a moment of peace in this story, maybe give this video a like and subscribe for more journeys into the calm and the ordinary. See you next time. October 12th, 1847. The moon still hangs in the sky, a pale coin against the dark velvet. I woke before the first hint of dawn, as I always do. The air in the small room is still and cool, carrying the faint scent of wood smoke from last night's fire. I rise from the straw-filled mattress, my bones creaking a familiar tune. The floorboards are cold beneath my bare feet. Dressing is a ritual, slow and deliberate. First, the long underwear, worn soft with countless washings. Then the wool trousers, held up by suspenders, crossed over my back. My work shirt, coarse and sturdy, follows. Each button is fastened with care. Finally, my heavy leather boots, their soles caked with the earth of yesterday. There is no rush. Time in this place doesn't run. It seeps. The silence is profound, broken only by the quiet rhythm of my own breath. I step outside. The world is bathed in a pre-dawn gray. A heavy dew blankets the ground, each blade of grass holding a tiny, perfect sphere of water. My boots leave dark prints in the wet earth as I make my way to the barn. The air is clean and sharp, carrying the smells of damp soil and distant pines. No birds sing yet. The world is holding its breath, waiting for the sun. The barn door groans, a low protest as I swing it open. Inside it is dark and warm, thick with the familiar, comforting smells of hay, animals, and manure. The beasts are still. Bessie and Flora, the two milk cows, turn their heads slowly as I enter, their large, dark eyes watching me with placid indifference. The chickens are quiet on their roosts. The old barn cat Patches stretches lazily from his nest in the hayloft, yawns, and settles back to sleep. Nothing has changed. Nothing is ever different. My first task is to feed the cows. I climb the ladder to the hayloft, the rungs smooth under my hands. The hay is dry and sweet-smelling. I fork a generous portion for each cow, measuring it by eye and by weight, a skill honed over thousands of mornings. I drop the hay into their mangers. The sound is a soft rustle, the only disturbance in the quiet. They begin to eat, their chewing a steady, rhythmic grinding. I stand and watch them for a moment. The methodical movement of their jaws, the way they pull strands of hay with their rough tongues. It is a simple, unchanging scene. I have witnessed it every morning for as long as I can remember. The details are etched into my mind. The specific shade of brown on Bessie's coat, the white patch on Flora's nose, the way the dust motes dance in the single beam of light slanting through a crack in the wall. After the cows are fed, I take up the milk pails. The metal is cold to the touch. I sit on my three-legged stool, first beside Bessie. My hands know the work without thought. The warmth of the udder, the firm, rhythmic squeeze, the hiss of the first streams of milk hitting the bottom of the pail, followed by the frothy, drumming sound as it fills. The cow shifts her weight, but remains calm. She is used to this. We are partners in this daily dance. The milk is warm and smells of sweet grass. When Bessie is done, I move to Flora. The process repeats itself, a mirror image of the first two pails, full and heavy, foam cresting the top. I carry them carefully back to the farmhouse, my steps measured to avoid spilling a single drop. The sun is just beginning to rise now, painting the eastern sky in soft shades of pink and orange. Another day has begun, exactly like the one before it. Inside the house, my wife, Eleanor, is awake. The fire is crackling in the hearth, and the smell of coffee is beginning to fill the air. We do not speak much in the morning. There is little to say that has not been said before. She strains the milk through a cheesecloth into a large ceramic jug. I pour myself a cup of coffee, black and strong. We eat a simple breakfast of oatmeal and bread. The bread is from the loaf she baked 2 days ago. It is dense and hearty. The quiet of the house is a comfortable one, built of shared routines and unspoken understanding. The sun is fully up now, streaming through the small kitchen window. After breakfast, I must attend to the fences. It is a constant, unending task. I walk the perimeter of the south pasture. The ground is firming up as the sun climbs higher. I examine each wooden post, testing its stability with a firm push. I look for rot at the base, for any sign of weakness. I run my hand along the wire, checking its tension. Here, a post leans slightly. I take the mallet from my belt and drive it deeper into the earth until it stands straight and true. A few yards further, the wire has sagged. I use my tensioning tool, cranking it until the wire is taut once more, humming with a low thrum when I pluck it. The work is slow and meticulous. There are no surprises. A fence is a simple thing, but its integrity is everything. It keeps our cows safe, and it keeps our neighbors' animals out. It is a line drawn upon the land, a declaration of order. The sun warms my back as I work my way along the line, post by post, wire by wire. The world is quiet, save for the buzz of a few early insects and the distant lowing of a cow. By midday, the fence is secure. I return to the house for lunch. Eleanor has prepared a stew of potatoes and carrots from our garden, thickened with a little flour. We eat, again in comfortable silence. The afternoon will be spent in the fields. It is time to turn the soil in the west plot, preparing it for the fall planting of winter wheat. I hitch our old plow horse, Goliath, to the single furrow plow. He is a steady, reliable beast, his broad back strong and patient. He knows this work as well as I do. I grip the plow handles, the wood worn smooth and shaped to my hands over years of use. I click my tongue, and Goliath leans into the harness. The plowshare bites into the earth. The soil turns over in a long, dark ribbon, revealing the damp, rich life beneath. We move across the field, back and forth, back and forth. The rhythm is hypnotic. Step, turn, step, turn. The sun beats down. Sweat drips from my brow and stings my eyes. My arms and back ache with a familiar fire. Goliath breathes heavily, his own effort a match for mine. We are a single unit, man and beast, toiling under the open sky. I watch the furrow unfurl behind me, a straight, true line. I take pride in this. A straight furrow is the mark of a good farmer. It speaks of care, of patience, of attention to detail. The field is not large, but the work takes the entire afternoon. The only sounds are the creak of the leather harness, the grunt of the horse, the whisper of the steel blade through the soil, and my own steady breathing. There is nothing else, just the sun, the earth, and the work. As the sun begins its descent, casting long shadows across the freshly turned earth, we finish the last row. I unhitch Goliath, giving him a good rub on his neck and a bucket of cool water. He has earned his rest. I lead him back to the barn, his day's work done. My own is not yet over. I must milk the cows again. The evening milking is a repeat of the mornings, a bookend to the day. The pails are filled once more. The chickens, who have spent the day scratching and pecking around the barnyard, are now coming home to roost. I scatter some grain for them, and they flock to it with a flurry of clucking and flapping wings. I check the water troughs, ensuring they are full. I latch the barn door securely for the night. The animals are safe. They are fed. All is in its place. Back in the house, the scent of baking bread fills the air. Eleanor is pulling a fresh loaf from the oven. The table is set for supper. We eat the stew from lunchtime, this time with slices of the warm, fresh bread. It is the finest meal a man could ask for. After we eat, Eleanor sits by the fire with her mending. I take out this diary and my ink pot. I sit at the small wooden table, and by the light of a single tallow candle, I write. I record the day. The weather was fair. The south fence was mended. The west plot was plowed. The cows gave a good amount of milk. I write down these simple facts. I write that the morning dew was heavy and that Goliath worked well. I note the weight of the hay and the sound of the cows chewing. There is nothing dramatic to report. My life is a collection of these small, repeating details. It is a story told not in grand events, but in the endless cycle of seasons and chores. When I am done writing, I will bank the fire, blow out the candle, and go to bed. Tomorrow, the sun will rise, and I will do it all again. It is a calm life. It is an ordinary life. It is my life. Thanks for listening. I hope you'll come back to hear more from my journal. Please subscribe for more entries. The morning light filters through the window, soft and pale. Breakfast is eaten slowly. Bread, butter, tea. Each bite is noted, every sip savored. The diary on the worn wooden table waits, its pages ready to receive the day's first impressions. The sound of chewing, a quiet crunch of toast, the warmth of the tea as it spreads through the body, a gentle awakening. The cool morning air a crisp kiss on the skin. Outside, the soft rustle of unseen animals in the undergrowth. Above, the slow, deliberate ballet of the clouds across an empty sky. A faint, earthy smell of hay drifts in, a promise of the day's labor. Everything is calm, boring, repetitive, ordinary, and monotonous. And in this monotony, there is a strange, profound peace. He walks slowly to the fields. Each step is deliberate, measured. The soil beneath his worn boots is soft, yielding. The plants stand in their familiar rows, a silent green army, unchanging from the day before. The sun begins its slow ascent, painting the horizon in hues of orange and gold. The birds, waking from their slumber, chirp quietly, their calls slow, monotonous, a soundtrack to the stillness. The diary will later note every plant, every row, every subtle movement of the wind as it whispers through the leaves, every distinct sound from the birds. Everything is ordinary, calm, boring, repetitive, and silent. It's a silence that isn't empty, but full of unspoken life. The work begins, slow and rhythmic, plowing, planting, watering. Each action is noted in extreme detail in the diary. The plow moves slowly through the earth, a steady, unhurried cut. The soil shifts, dark and rich, turning over to welcome the new day. The plants, in their own time, respond slowly to the care they are given. The sun moves slowly, a silent observer, charting its course across the vast expanse of the sky. The soil gives back the day's energy in a quiet exchange. The plants, now watered and tended, seem to stand a little taller. The birds begin their evening chorus, a gentle, melodic farewell to the light. The diary will document this return journey, the subtle changes in the landscape as dusk settles in, the feeling of the path underfoot, the first star pricking the darkening sky. Everything is ordinary, calm, boring, repetitive, and peaceful. It is a life stripped down to its essentials, a life of quiet observation and deep connection. Evening settles, a simple dinner eaten by candlelight. The diary is opened once more. The day's events, so ordinary and repetitive, are carefully transcribed onto the pages. The sound of the pen scratching on paper is the only sound in the quiet room. The slow movements of the clouds, the feel of the soil, the chirp of the birds, the warmth of the sun. It's all there, a testament to a life lived deliberately. He captures the essence of his existence, the beauty in the mundane, the poetry in the repetition. He finds meaning not in grand events or dramatic changes, but in the subtle, ever-present details of the world around him. Why does he document this seemingly uneventful life with such precision? Perhaps it is a form of meditation, a way to be fully present in each moment. In a world that often prizes speed, noise, and constant stimulation, his life is an act of quiet rebellion. By slowing down, by paying attention, he discovers a richness and depth that is often overlooked. He is not just living, he is observing, feeling, and recording the very fabric of his reality. Each entry in the diary is not just a record of what happened, but a celebration of the fact that it happened at all. This meticulous chronicling is a way to honor the world, to see the extraordinary within the ordinary. The slow, patient unfolding of life is a miracle in itself. The rustle of a leaf, the warmth of a sunbeam, the taste of fresh bread, these are not small things. The sun climbs, a slow, indifferent ascent. Lunch arrives, not with a bell, but with the sun's position. It is always the same: bread, cheese, water. Each item is placed deliberately on the rough wooden table. My hands move without thought, a practiced, unhurried ballet. The bread is dense, its crust crackles softly as I tear a piece. I chew slowly, feeling the texture, tasting the simple, earthy flavor of the grain. Each bite is an event, noted, considered. The cheese is sharp, a familiar tang on the tongue. It melts, but slowly, coating my mouth. A sip of water, cool and clear from the well. It cleanses the palate, preparing it for the next bite, the next identical sensation. I can hear my own chewing, the slight scrape of the cup on the table. Outside, the wind whispers through the dry grass, a sound so constant it's almost silence. A cloud, a lone wisp of white, drifts across the vast blue canvas of the sky. It moves with an agonizing lack of urgency. I watch it until it's gone. I take out my diary. The pen feels heavy in my hand. I write lunch, bread, cheese, water. Each bite was noted. Each sip was noted. The sound of my own eating. The wind, a soft rustle. A single cloud moving west to east. The day is filled with these details, these small, insignificant anchors in a sea of time. Everything is calm, boring, repetitive, ordinary, and monotonous. And so it is recorded. The afternoon stretches, a long, slow exhale of the day. Time doesn't pass. It seeps like water into dry soil. I rise from the table, my chair scraping against the floorboards, a brief, sharp sound in the quiet. It's time to walk the fences again. My boots crunch on the gravel path, a rhythmic, predictable sound. Step, crunch, step, crunch. My shadow stretches long and thin beside me. I follow the line of wooden posts and wire, my eyes scanning for any break, any weakness. My hand runs along the top wire, feeling the tension. It is secure. It was secure yesterday. It will be secure tomorrow. I reach the far corner of the field and stop, turning back to look at the small house, a lonely shape against the horizon. The soil needs checking. I kneel, digging my fingers into the earth. It is dry, but not too dry, crumbly. I let it run through my fingers, a fine brown dust. I measure the moisture, a small, precise action with a small, precise tool. The reading is within the expected range. It always is. The animals are next. They stand in the shade, flicking their tails, chewing placidly. Their eyes are wide and dark, showing no curiosity, no alarm. They are used to me. They know my scent, my slow, deliberate movements. They are calm. I am calm. We are part of the same silent, repeating pattern. I stand and watch them for a time that has no measure. I observe the wind, how it bends the tall grass in waves. I observe the clouds, which have gathered now, thicker and heavier than the one from lunchtime. They crawl across the sky, gray and ponderous. Back inside, the diary is open, waiting. I sit, I write. Afternoon walk. Fences checked, all secure. Soil moisture at an acceptable level. Animals are calm, resting in the shade. The wind is from the west. The clouds are building. I write in long, looping sentences, describing every single detail, no matter how small. I write slowly, calmly, boringly, repetitively, and monotonously, because that is the truth of it. The light begins to fade, draining the color from the world, leaving behind shades of gray and deep blue. Dinner is a mirror of lunch, a reflection with minor changes. Bread, soup, water. The soup is thin, flavored with yesterday's vegetables. It is warm. I eat slowly, spooning the liquid to my mouth, the metal clinking softly against the ceramic bowl. The steam rises in a faint mist, carrying a smell of earth and salt. I stare out the window as I eat. Dinner, bread, soup, water, observations from the window, the animals in the dusk, the sound of the wind, the color of the sky. I write it all down, another layer of text on a page, already filled with similar observations. The words are a dam against what I do not know. I only know that they must be written. Night has fallen completely, a deep, starless black. The air is cool on my skin as I step outside. One last task before sleep. One last walk. I move slowly toward the barn, my lantern casting a small, trembling circle of light on the ground before me. The path is familiar. I could walk it with my eyes closed. Inside the barn, the air is thick with the warm, sweet smell of hay and animals. A few soft sounds greet me. A rustle in the straw, a low, sleepy grunt, a soft stamp of a hoof. I move down the aisle, holding the lantern high, its light dancing over the sleeping forms. Everything is as it should be. Every animal is in its place. Everything is calm, ordinary, boring, and repetitive. There are no surprises here. There is no drama. There is only the slow, steady rhythm of life, of breath, of sleep. I stand in the middle of the barn for a long time, just listening to the quiet sounds of the night, the breathing of the animals, the creak of the old wood. I am a guardian of monotony, a keeper of the calm. I make my way back to the house, the circle of light bobbing in the immense darkness. Inside, the diary lies open on the table, a final summons. I sit down, dip the pen in the ink, and begin to write again. I note each sound from the barn, each movement I observed, each detail of the final check. I write slowly, calmly, monotonously, boringly, repetitively. My hand moves across the page, a steady, tireless machine.